Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video tonight I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news. So let's delve into it. So the Jadon Sancho talks are still ongoing, but from my own perception I feel as though Jadon Sancho is too expensive for Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, I think Jadon Sancho is an exceptional player, but I don't think he's worth what Borussia Dortmund have been demanding. Borussia Dortmund's valuation has been £108 million, and throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. I think he's probably worth from between £70 to £80 million at the most. Now, Sky Sports have said that Borussia Dortmund are bemused by our approach for Jadon Sancho. Now, David Ornstein, I think he's from The Athletic, he has already said that Sancho has agreed personal terms with Manchester United on a long-term contract. He's mentioned that Manchester United are looking at around 4 alternatives now to Sancho. We are looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We're looking at Douglas Costa from Juventus. Ivan Perisic, he's another player we're also looking at. And there's also another player we are looking at. But there has been a lot of alternatives to Sancho on our agenda. Now, don't forget Sebastian Kell, who's Borussia Dortmund's head of football. He recently said that Sancho won't be leaving Dortmund in this summer transfer window, and he will be staying at Dortmund for this season. He has said that Man United have not got a chance of getting Sancho in a cut price deal, so he said that £73 million is just not enough. He's saying the exact same thing as what Lucien Favre said. He's obviously Borussia Dortmund's boss, and he's confirmed that Sancho will be staying at Dortmund for this season. Quite a few weeks ago now, Michael Zorc, Borussia Dortmund's sporting director, also said Sancho is staying and the decision is final. Fabrizio Romano has spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga quite a few times, and he says, that Sancho still wants to come to Manchester United. Don't forget, was it last month, Fabrizio Romano had broke out the news saying that Sancho had agreed personal terms with Man United, and it said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with the football club. But just after that, talks have broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But we have said quite a lot of times we are not giving up on the signing of the player unless he publicly says that he wants to stay at Dortmund, because Sancho hasn't actually said himself that he wants to stay at Dortmund. But he is our number one priority target, and he's been our number one priority target for a while. But Solskjaer has been very infuriated regarding this Jadon Sancho transfer saga because it has gone on for so long. I think we've been in for him for like the last 3 years. But I don't think we're going to get him in this summer transfer window. There's only around 2 weeks left of this summer transfer window. But we may never get him now anyway, because obviously next year we will face competition for him. Maybe the likes of Liverpool, Barcelona and Real Madrid will go in for him next year. But Dortmund said to us, didn't they, last month that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. And we was hoping to sign Sancho before the Crystal Palace game, but obviously, that didn't materialise. And Solskjaer has held several talks with Sancho, and a few weeks ago it said that Sancho told Solskjaer he wants to come to Man United, and Solskjaer was saying that he'd recently spoke to him and assured him that a move to Old Trafford is close. But I already outlined the reasons why I wanted him at Manchester United is because he's got a very, very good friendship with Rashford. He's predominantly a right winger, and Manchester United need a right winger. I think he would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's still very, very young. He's endured 3 good years at Borussia Dortmund. This is now his 4th season with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid $8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. The main explanation why he left Manchester City when he was younger is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. Before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford for several years. Sancho still under contract, I think, with Dortmund until 2022. We was willing to offer him the number 7 as well. We've obviously now got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations now. I've heard that Borussia Dortmund have actually found their replacement for Sancho, but I don't think Manchester United are going to sign him. I really, really don't. And Dortmund have let quite a few of their big names go in recent years. You know, they let the likes of Aubameyang go. They let Christian Pulisic go. They let Mkhitaryan go. They also let Ousmane Dembele go. Matt Hummels. Shinji Kagawa at one point. Ilkwan Gundogan. Mkhitaryan. So Lewandowski. So they have let a lot of their players go. So yeah, so that is the breaking news on Jadon Sancho. And I also read a report today, and it mentioned that Borussia Dortmund could increase their asking price, you know, for how long we have taken, you know, with this Jadon Sancho deal. But we just haven't been able to come to an agreement on a fee. That has been the problem. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, I want to delve into some news on Alex Telles from Porto. So, we have encountered a stumbling block in our transfer pursuit of Alex Telles due to Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes has obviously been involved in talks. Now, reportedly, we do have to pay £25 million for Alex Telles. This has been confirmed. It did say not so long ago that Porto had revealed their asking price, and it said they wanted around, was it 18 million or just over 18 million pounds. Now, we're confident we can get a deal over the line. Now, as you all know, Mohamed Bouafsi, around 3 days ago from RMC Sports, said that Alex Telles has agreed personal terms with Manchester United on a 5-year contract worth £70,000 a week. We've just got to come to an agreement now on a fee. And Fabrizio Romano did recently say that Man United were in advanced talks with Porto to sign Alex Telles, and we are ahead of PSG in negotiations. Now, Alex Telles has got a release clause of around £36 million. He's got around 10 months left on his current contract with Porto. So, from a Porto perspective, they want to cash in for him now rather than letting go on a free next year. Alex Telles has already said to Porto that he wants to leave, and he's hoping to complete a transfer to Manchester United this week. Porto's boss did recently make an admission saying that Alex Telles could leave in the next fortnight. Alex Telles did say that he's not being distracted by the rumours linking him with a move to Manchester United. Now, Alex Telles has been at Porto for quite a few years. I think he's enjoyed around 4 years with them. Contributed around 60 odd goals in 140 odd games. Before he was at Porto, he had a loan spell with Inter Milan. When he was younger, he played for Galatasaray, also played for Grêmio, and also played for Juventude. and he's the age of 27. Was it the other week? His agent was in Manchester to thrash out a deal for his client to join Manchester United. He's predominantly a left back, and Man United are in search for a left back. We've got two predominant left backs in the team at the moment, and that's Luke Shaw. He's our first choice left back, but my element of concern about him is injury prone. And Brandon Williams, he's our backup left back. And the main and another one of the reasons why we're in for Alex Telles is because we've just recently missed out on Sergio Reguilon. So that is the breaking news on him. But I think £25 million still a cheap solution. I think Chelsea were interested in Alex Telles at one point. He does also mention that we've looked at two alternatives to him, and that's Tagliafico, however you pronounce his name, from Ajax. Reportedly he's available for around 23 million. Torre from Monaco, he's another alternative that we are looking at. So hopefully Alex Telles can be our second signing in this summer transfer window. But that is the latest on the transfer news. By the way, Solskjaer has changed his transfer plan after Ed Woodward's update. Now, I think Solskjaer and Woodward have been clashing again. And like I've said to you, I think Solskjaer does deserve more backing in this summer transfer window, because from my own perception, he isn't getting backed enough. And Solskjaer's recently revealed that, he's very, very frustrated with the board. But we've been critical of the board anyway for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've overpaid for players in recent years. We've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. The managers that we've had since Ferguson retired have not been backed enough. And this is why, Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, so he's been with us around 8 years. And the Glazers have been with us since 2005, so they've been with us around 15 years. But Woodward said quite a few times that he's determined to back Solskjaer. Also, too, the Glazers said that they're determined to back Solskjaer. Because this summer transfer window is his fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said, Man United have still got quite a bit to do. We've obviously got to make more signings. We've obviously got to offload our fringe players, and we are struggling to offload players at the moment. I said it's very imperative that we do sell players in this summer transfer window so we can obviously generate money, and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. And quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club. Lingard, there's been rumours of him leaving Manchester United. Tottenham have been in for him recently. Andres Pereira, I'm hopeful we can get rid of him. Chris Smalling, I heard that Roma are going to put a bid in the coming days for Chris Smalling. Don't forget, Smalling was out on loan with Roma last season. I think Smalling wants to go to Italy. We're looking to get rid of Rojo. We're looking to get rid of Phil Jones. We're also looking to get rid of Diego Dalot. Sergio Romero, he's open to leaving the football club, because Romero's not going to want to stay at Manchester United when he's third choice goalkeeper, because he is third choice goalkeeper now because Dean Henderson's just recently returned. Daniel James, there's also rumours of him leaving the football club. Obviously, he's been linked with a move to Leeds United as Daniel James. So Leeds have basically made a second attempt to get him. I heard that Leeds have put around the £12 million bidding with add-ons included. If we want to sign Sancho or any other winner, then I think Daniel James will definitely go. This season's obviously Daniel James' second season at Man United. Obviously, last season was his first season at the club. We got Daniel James in a deal worth £18 million from Swansea last summer. By the way, he was close to joining Leeds United in January 2019. Everything had been agreed, I think, but Swansea pulled out right at the final hurdle. You know what I mean? So there's still quite a few things to do. And we've missed out on a lot of our targets, and that's another thing that frustrates me. Obviously, missed out on Sergio Reguilon, went to Tottenham. Missed out on Gareth Bale, he went back to Tottenham. Missed out on Jack Grealish, he recently signed a 5-year deal with Aston Villa. We also missed out on Erling Haaland in January. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. And like I said to you before, another one of my element of concerns is that there's teams around us that are doing very, very good recruitment. Arsenal, they've made a couple of signings. Chelsea, by far, they've done the best recruitment so far. They must have brought a good 7 players in, something like that. Everton, they've made some good signings. Liverpool, they've now made 3 signings. City, they've made a couple of signings. Tottenham, they've also made some good signings. And I said if Manchester United are to challenge for the title this season, we've got to make at least a couple of more signings. Don't forget, we haven't marked any title challenge up in the last 7 years, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And like I said to you, this season is really big for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because this season is his 2nd full season at the football club. And obviously Solskjaer knows that he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain in the Manchester United job. Now, I'm hopeful that Manchester United can win a trophy this season because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. You know what I mean? I'm also hopeful that we can get qualification for the Champions League again. But Solskjaer was saying, before the season started, this season that is, that we've got confidence going on into this season because from where we left off last season. Because last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club, and to be fair, he did exceed most of his expectations. Obviously progressed us to 3 semi-finals, got us to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final, and the EFL Cup semi-final. Also got us qualification for the Champions League and also got us 3rd, and that's the 2nd highest we've finished since Alex Ferguson's retirement and that. Like I said, we did lose our first Premier League game against Crystal Palace by 3-1. And that was our worst defeat on an opening day of a Premier League season since 1995, which is 25 years ago, and it was the 2nd season in a row in the Premier League that Crystal Palace have beaten us at Old Trafford. And reflect on that result, I think a lot of Manchester United fans would have criticised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but Solskjaer's partly to blame, for the inconsistency in that, because in a lot of games at Manchester United, he's actually being very tactically naive. So Solskjaer's definitely got to improve his decision making at the football club. But we won our first game yesterday night against Luton Town in the Cowbell Cup 3rd round at Kenilworth Road. We won by 3-0. And obviously, Solskjaer's now won 50 games as Manchester United manager. He's become the 3rd fastest manager at Man United to do this. And I think he's managed around 91 or is it 92 games. And, we have progressed into the 4th round of the Cowbell Cup. We do play Preston or Brighton. Solskjaer, by the way, did make around 10 changes from the 3-1 defeat to Crystal Palace. So it was good to get back to winning ways. We do play Brighton on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. It's our 2nd league game of the season. And obviously, if we beat Brighton, it will be our 1st win in the Premier League this season. But there's still some Manchester United fans that don't think Solskjaer is the right manager for the football club. And some Man United fans and some people in general, think Manchester United have got to get a manager in with a proven pedigree, such as a Pep Guardiola or the Jurgen Klopp, for prime example. Like I said, at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that point, there was talks of Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year. The main explanation Solskjaer got the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Like I said, there's still improvements needed under the Solskjaer era. Still like certain players that have got to improve. Like I said, Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making. There's still aspects of our game that have got to improve and that. But, don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements. I think, we've done good with some good recruitment under Solskjaer. We haven't been so good, though, in this summer transfer window. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. Another thing I've liked about Solskjaer is that since he's taken over the reins at Manchester United, he's had a habit of developing young homegrown talents. And there's a lot of young players that are good young players that are coming through at Manchester United. And I think there's definitely a lot of players in fact that have improved under him. Solskjaer has spent over £200 million so far at Manchester United. I think he spent around £240 million. Last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Igalo in. And not so long ago brought Donny van der Beek in. And I think Donny van der Beek has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Played 3 games for us so far. Played in the 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. That was his debut. Obviously came on in the Crystal Palace game. That was his Premier League debut and scored on his Premier League debut. And recently played against Luton Town and put a very, very good performance out. But we need more than Donny van der Beek, don't we? But Solskjaer's also brought a few academy players into the football club. Like I said to you, when Solskjaer first came into Manchester United, he was inheriting a squad that was worth £700 million before he obviously made his signings, and he's still even with the signings he's made, he's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. Because Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into Manchester United. The vast majority of his teams is, Mourinho brought Lukaku in, he brought Sanchez in, he brought Mkhitaryan in, he brought Ibrahimovic in, but obviously, they've gone. He brought Paul Pogba in, he brought Fred in, he brought Matic in, he brought Lee Grant in, he brought Diego Dalot in, he brought Bay in, he brought Lindelof in. These are all the players that Jose Mourinho brought into the football club. Like I said, he's still inheriting a few players even from the Van Gaal era. Van Gaal brought a good 16 players into Manchester United. He brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Blind, Rojo, Darmian, Martial, Shaw, Herrera, Victor Valdez, Sergio Romero. But yeah, like I said, most of them have gone. And obviously, there's still Matter here from the David Moyes era. Matter also brought Fellaini. Moyes also brought Fellaini in, but Fellaini's no longer at the football club. And there's still a few players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I think the only players that are here now from the Ferguson era is De Gea, Phil Jones, and Chris Smalling. So let's just put that into the equation. But yeah, like I said, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure at Manchester United to work out. I really, really do, because I love him a lot. He's a legend of the club. He was a great player for Manchester United for 11 years. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Now, we know that Ole hasn't got that proven pedigree. You can say that's another one of my element of concern. He has gained that managerial experience though a bit, reflecting how long he's been at Man United. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. But you can see that he's trying to change the culture of the club, and he's also trying to improve the squad. The areas Man United have got to strengthen up right. We need a centre-half to go alongside Harry Maguire. We need a left-back, and we also need a right winger. Earlier on in the summer transfer window, we was in for a striker, don't forget. You know what I mean? But in the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We've spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've had different managers with different philosophies. The managers we've sacked since Ferguson era was David Moyes, got sacked after 8 or 9 months. Obviously, sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, but did win the FA Cup and sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. But obviously Mourinho got sacked is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And basically, the board just weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend into the club. I think now as it stands at the moment, Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his current contract at the club. Now, Solskjaer's already confirmed Harry Maguire will remain Manchester United captain this season. We know that. David De Gea, I think, will remain our number one this season, or at least for the first part of this season. But I've already said I think, he should put Dean Henderson as number one, because I think he's now reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper. Dean Henderson made his full debut for the club against Luton yesterday night. But Man United we've got a lot of good players. There's a lot of players that I think we should keep at the club and probably will keep. Like I said, keep Rashford, he's a foreseeable future. Keep Anthony Martial because he's really improved under Solskjaer. Keep Mason Greenwood. I know there's been a few issues with him recently, but makes an impact when he plays. Don't forget Mason Greenwood recently got given the number 11 shirt. He's the fourth Man United player to wear the number 11. I think he could be our number 9 in the foreseeable future. Solskjaer said he's got to improve his head if Solskjaer is to give Mason Greenwood number 9. Williams has also really, really improved. Last season was Williams' first full season in the senior squad. We recently give Brandon Williams a number 33. I've got to say, Fred McTominay and Matic have improved under him. Pogba looks good under him. Pogba did well towards the end of last season. I think the signings Solskjaer's brought in have also done well. Luke Shaw, he's also done well as well. He's just got to improve his fitness because he's too injury prone. Bay, good player, but again, too injury prone, so he's got to improve his fitness. Some Manchester United fans will prefer Eric Bay ahead of Victor Lindelof in our back line. I think Igalo, like I said, he's done well since he's come in, so there you go. The preview for the Brighton game will be coming up tomorrow. It might be tomorrow morning, actually. I'll be doing the preview for the Brighton game. So join me for that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.